Okay, welcome to another episode of On Point EDC. Today we have a really cool crossover episode brought to you by RZE. A little bit about them. They're a Singapore and Malaysia-based microbrand upstart, most known for their capable range of adventure-forward titanium crafted timepieces. As you can see, that's my personal RZE watch there over on the right-hand side of the screen, while on the left-hand side, you actually have a very cool collaboration piece made between RZE and Big Idea Design. A little bit about Big Idea Design. They're an EDC gear company which started back in 2009, headquartered out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and have manufactured and they have their pieces manufactured out of China with globally sourced components. They're most known for their super adjustable EDC pens that can fit hundreds of different refills. Now, in terms of the type of pen, yes, this would be falling within that custom pen category. And you know, some key common characteristics in design. When you're looking for something like this, of course, you're going to want that unique design language that is, you know, something that is individual to that particular model, as well as having a fun, fidgetable actuation, and premium materials and construction is always nice. This is the dual side click pen, and this is the RZE special edition with that medallion yellow collar accent, as well as, of course, the custom branding for RZE. They actually do also offer engraving, which I had this particular one engraved on Point EDC. You'll be able to see it on the backside, which I'm looking forward to kind of showing you guys. These are limited to 50 units each, and it's pretty much that original patent pending side click mechanism that many of you have loved. I have featured some of the newer releases from Big Idea Design recently on the channel, so definitely check the history for those updates. But with all that said, let's go ahead, zoom the camera out, get this piece in hand, and take a closer look. Okay guys, now normally I would do a quick customary wristwatch check, but in this case I'll just put my RZE on my wrist. And if you are interested in learning more about this timepiece, definitely check out the channel history for more. Full titanium, obviously you can see this gorgeous carbon fiber dial there. It has the marble or shredded carbon fiber style. Very, very nice. And getting into this pen, guys, let's just jump right into it. This thing is very fidgety. Now, when I say fidgety, I mean like you'd like to fidget with it and play with it, because when you click down, for you to release it, you can use the side click, and you can use either side, which makes it a lot of fun, even more so than their updated model, which I recently well, Big Idea Design's standard model, I should say, but their updated slim model. Let me see if I can grab it off camera here. Grab the right one. Here you go. Which I enjoyed a lot, but I will say here there's no side click. It's just standard clicking up and down. It's a lot more minimalist because of the particular design now has internalized a lot of that, where this is just a little bit more intuitive, and in terms of having a more toolless adjustment, it works really well. This actually still adjusts without tools, but essentially you spin here and here you spin here, which is, I think, a lot more intuitive. And honestly, the actuation, again, is a lot more engaging and fidgetable, and of course a lot more tactile because of those clicks. And then, you know, it has all of the other benefits that you would expect from Big Idea Design in terms of, you know, hey, what comes in the packaging? You get the right tools. You can see here, this tool lines up, so you can pop this off, then you use another piece to unscrew the rest. You can also, if you want to put that on a key ring, you can. You get extra springs, gaskets there, and you're probably wondering, gaskets, what do you need those for? Well, this thing is actually really smartly engineered. So it was a very cool choice for RZE to choose this particular you know, manufacturer to make their pen, because it's a very unique type of mechanism. So as you can see, when you pop it out, essentially now that's how you want it lined up. But if you had a different size refill, essentially you can make it shorter, you can make it longer for the refill that's inside. So what I'll do is we'll just get that out of the way and kind of show you guys. And the nice thing is is this is not super easy to turn. Like, it takes pressure, so you're not going to accidentally reset in terms of like your tip length. Like, this coming in and out of the pocket isn't going to reset this by accident. Like, you do have to turn it, and you will get a better understanding. And I received a better understanding of kind of how this works just by actually handling this piece in hand. And I will say it's very, very smart. So we take this out. So as you can see, there would be a lot. If you had a really long refill, you could clearly fit in there. But you see there are 2 rubber gaskets, which do keep a nice tight seal. And then you see the threading here, which is actually what adjusts the size. And then you have the Schmidt P900 refill there. But essentially you take it, you want to find, okay, you don't want to cross thread it. So what I like to do is I like to go reverse until I can get those threads to seat, and then I screw it back. And another nice thing is with these gaskets here, it's gonna increase that fit even tighter. So again, that's what stops it from just spinning around and you accidentally turning this in any way that isn't where you wanted it to turn. So then we click here. Yep, and that's about where I wanted it. But if I wanted to really dial it in, I absolutely could say, hey, let's make it to where it's just here, and boom, right? Or I could say, hey, I really like to have just, this thing all the way out. Maybe I'm going to do some drafting or something, and I really want to be able to visually see that tip. One thing to keep in mind, though, is if you do tighten it all the way down, you're going to be, when it comes time to secure the pen away, that's one of the reasons why you want to dial it in. And I'd say, just like the picture that's on the box, I like to have just a little bit of that straight section and then the angle picking up, and it ends up giving it nice amount of room there. And then of course, with the different sizes you have, you can see a little bit of the magic is that adjustable kind of automatic collet there that captures the tip, and then it just gives it, is there going to be some wiggle? Yes, but not as much as if this thing was open without anything kind of using that pressure to center it. So of course, if me putting pressure on it and doing that will give you a bit of tip wiggle, but when you're actually writing, it actually does a really nice job of just engaging on its own. And you can see, of course, to commemorate the segment, On Point EDC there. So very cool. Not super bold, especially on top of this dark stonewash finish, but hey, it does the job. I can read it, I know it's there, and it's enjoyable. And then of course, this great medallion yellow color has been very signature to the RZE brand, so it's very cool to see that there. This is made out of grade 5 titanium, and a lot of people know that from watches, right? Because some of the higher end watches that use titanium will use grade 5, which is more of an alloy, versus let's say a grade 2 titanium, which is going to be more pure titanium. But of course, by mixing in some of those other materials into the mix, you're going to be getting an overall stronger and more resilient compound. This sells for $139 direct, and Travis from RZE did send this in, so I do appreciate that, guys. So if you consider this sponsored because of that, you can, but sometimes stuff gets sent in, doesn't need to be sent back, and that doesn't really affect my my take on anything. I have tons of pens, tons of watches, and the ones I want to talk to you guys about, of course, are the ones that I enjoy, and that's just that. I don't have enough time because of how big the collections are to just talk to you guys about stuff that actually doesn't interest me. So a little bit about this construction: solid metal, you get that functional mechanism. The length on here is a nice compatible, I should say, compact size at just 4.64. Of course, that is at the kind of standard use. You could put in a longer refill and make this thing a longer pen if you really needed to, but again, that's based on the size of the refill. You couldn't just extend this or whatever. It's not like you can make the pen longer if you wanted to, because at the end of the day, all the internals and everything have to work. with the refill that's inside. So don't think of it as an extendable pen as much as it is, collapsible based on the insert that you're choosing to use inside. And the one that it comes with is a Schmidt refill. So, I do enjoy a good Schmidt refill. Thickness is just under 10 millimeters at 9.7, and then the weight is right about 92.92 ounces. So quite lightweight here, and very enjoyable. It still has a bit of heft. I'm a lefty, halfway left-handed, I guess halfway right-handed, because I do write and draw with my left hand, but pretty much everything else is with my right hand. So like opening knives and stuff. Speaking of knives, right, you could see that this is a great pairing in terms of that stone washed finish and that great tumble. And then this is like an HEA design knife here, which is a lot of fun. And you can see, hey, open that with my right hand, but I write with my left hand. It's a mystery. I'm not ambidextrous. I'm just literally half left-handed, half right-handed. But you can see that it kind of does go well with the pairing. I think that's really cool. And then, maybe you get to the satin portion of the blade, and then that kind of can go with the satin portion of your wristwatch. So I think that's something that's really cool and fun about the EDC space. You can get a bunch of different things and different ways to kind of, just kind of tell a story. It's nice to have premium products in your pocket, on your person, and this is a great example of that. And I mention it's 139 direct, so that is a little bit more expensive, of course, I believe, than the standard Big Idea design pen. But hey, this one, if you get it, it's actually, well, one, it has the cool the cool colorway, the signature, and then, you can get your engraving done. But it also is a part of RZE. So if you want to support a really great brand and a great guy in Travis Tan, who runs RZE, the nice thing is, you can do that and also have a really cool tool that can work in terms of functionality, as well as I think the aesthetic is quite nice. If I can get the camera to just focus here. Sorry about that. I forgot to use the trick where I put my hand behind it. So very nice. And this wider portion does give you a nice amount of purchase, let's say when you are writing, and then you do get a couple of these slots here, so you can get some nice grip there, and it works out really nice. And because of that working finish, as this thing gets knocked around and beat up, it's going to still look really nice, because it's kind of its whole nature. And then maybe once this collar gets worn down a little bit, you can have a little bit of that Boba Fett kind of worn in look. And you can also see that as you use this, even the your clicker there will pick up some wear marks over time. Just adding again to that character of the piece, that is something that is meant to be functional, meant for you to be used, meant to be carried. So I don't know, that's a lot of fun. In terms of kind of closing thoughts, guys, to wrap this up, very smooth and balanced, nice click action, fun to fidget with. I really like that you have both sides to click with, so you can hit it with the thumb, you can hit it with the back of the forefinger, index finger, I should say, but it's just, yeah. There's a lot. You could just do a lot to it, which is good. And there we go. You can even get it to fail once in a while if you're just that wild with it. But no, I fidgeted with this one quite a bit in my spare time, kind of breaking it in, and it's a lot of fun. And I will say that it pretty much fires every time. I don't know. That's like the first time I got it to misfire there. So kudos to myself for playing with it enough to actually get it to stick, but it looks like it's back to being unsticky, but still quite clicky. Yeah, so very enjoyable. Again, that fidget factor for me is a huge part in terms of engaging with those daily tools. In pocket, very unobtrusive, nice and compact. It has this deep carry clip, which is going to ride deeper in your pocket. As you can see, it's going to come all the way up. You're going to have this nice little pop of yellow coming out, which is fun. Then, of course, when you draw it out of the pocket, you do have a little bit purchase there, or you could pull it from the clip. Let's say if you put it in your pant pocket versus your breast pocket. So there's definitely a lot to enjoy. In terms of model variants, this is also available with their bolt action actuation, and it is the more standard adjuster on here that's going to be on the outside, which I think aesthetically actually looks really cool after you spend some time with it. It definitely gives it a very signature look. It's very aesthetically pleasing, and you know, kind of adds to the iconography of the piece itself. In terms of comparable options, yeah, there are definitely a lot of solid click EDC pens that are out there on the market at this price point, and many of the best are also made in the USA. So at first glance, I think these being produced overseas could feel a bit overpriced, but they do add a lot of value with that adjustability, as well as the nice little extras that they include in terms of kind of the service and maintenance pieces that you get, the extra gaskets, the extra spring, the tools for disassembly and everything like that, because you can rebend this out. Let's say you damage your clip and you just rip it out and then it catches a weird bend. Essentially, you can take this off with using that tool, and then you can rebend this so that you'll have that nice spring tension back again. So a lot to like from that perspective. So I do like that it's fully inclusive, and again, also the fact that it supports RZE, which is a nice brand that I hope continue to release fun adventure watches for the market. So for me, guys, bottom line, if you're interested in, let's say, a particularly niche refill and you need that adjustability, hey, look no further. This is definitely the pen for you. Or maybe you just like that idea of having endless options. I think you'll definitely find value with this Big Idea Design RZE collaboration. And the cool thing is RZE actually, you know, they made that field watch for Big Idea Design, which is another cool thing. I should probably had that ready to pull into the frame to show you guys. You know, definitely check the channel history for that review. What I'll do is I'll leave it in a little box here, I think, for you to click on if you want to see that. But with that said, if you like the video, please do it like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks, guys.